Indianapolis Motor Speedway coverage is brought to you by the Indiana Union Construction Industry. Skilled on principle, union by choice. This is race day.
Joseph Newgarden will win the Indianapolis 500-mile race.
The 108th running of the Indianapolis 500. Coverage brought to you by Quality Supply and Tool in Indianapolis, Bloomington, Jeffersonville, and Lafayette. QualitySupplyandTool.com. Think outside the box. Store.
All right, here with the voice of the Indy 500, Mark Jaynes. And Mark, I know this is a day you look forward to every single year. Weather's certainly trying to play a factor, but I know you guys are trying to stay, you want to stay as, positive as possible about this.
Yeah, we're trying to share optimism along with 350,000 or so of our closest friends, and we think something's going to happen at some point weather-wise. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Try to remain optimistic that we can get 500 miles in at some point today.
Have you ever been in a situation where you have to fill quite a bit of time because of weather?
Yeah, we have over the years. I mean, it's been quite a while. I think it was 1997. I think we had to come back a couple of days, in fact, to finally get it in. And, I feel bad about that, and I think plenty of contingency plans are in place to make sure that we try to get it in, certainly, if not today, then tomorrow. But my hope is that however it happens, that we get all 500 miles in, because it is the Indy 500.
What can people expect on today's broadcast?
We've got some cool things planned. Paul Page will have a conversation with Johnny Rutherford. It's the 50th anniversary of Lone Star JR's first win in the McLaren. And he and Paul talk at length about that and JR's career and look at all three of his wins here. Of course, they spent a lot of time together on this network and have been friends for years. We have a tribute to Gilles de Ferran. And we also have Rob Blackman going to spend some time with Elio talking about his helmet, which is a tribute to Gilles. So the 2003 champion will be part of our thoughts and, conversations with the governor. And then, we try to set the stage, carry a lot of the pre-race festivities live on the public address to make people that aren't here feel like they are. But ultimately, when the green flag flies, the focus then turns to the race.
Biggest storylines of the day you're looking at?
Well, that's probably the question I get asked the most. Certainly, how is all of this going to impact Kyle Larson's desire to do the double? I think he's a legitimate contender to win. Will Penske's dominance continue? They have pretty much locked down, this month of May so far. And then can Scott Dixon or an Alex Palou come from deep in the field? Does Colton Herta continue to look as good as he has looked in practice sessions, especially this past Monday and Friday? I mean, he was able to drive that car anywhere. But ultimately, the big story is the winner, because of this is the Indy 500.
Well, that's all part of what you'll hear from the voice of the 500, Mark Jaynes, and the rest of his fantastic crew on the IMS Radio Network, coming up right here on WIBC at 11 o'clock. Mark, thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I've always enjoyed the visit, John. Good luck today.
Thank you, sir.
John Herrick, thank you. John Herrick from the WIBC newsroom, the news director there. And JMV, Mark Jaynes, how soft-spoken he is right there, and yet you hear him during the race.
Yeah.
That voice is perfect.
Perfect for it. Always has been. Even when he did, he did the pits, and he also, did turns before he got the gig to preside over it all. There is nobody better out there than what he does at his job. And honestly, Tony, we're blessed because the entire IMS Radio network that covers the 500 is just outstanding. To make that, I mean, they can just make one lap seem like it is the most important lap of all time.
Pure theater.
It's amazing yes, it is pure theater. It's amazing what they do.
We've got much more from Pagoda Plaza, the Bet365 Command Center, the 108th running of the Indianapolis 500. JMV and Tony Katz, 93.5, 107.5 The Fan, and 93 WIBC.
As they approach the yard of brakes, less than 3 car lengths.
This is race day, the 108th running of the Indianapolis 500. Coverage brought to you by Quality Supply and Tool in Indianapolis, Bloomington, Jeffersonville, and Lafayette. QualitySupplyandTool.com. Think outside the box. Store.
Hey, welcome back. Tony Katz, JMV, the Bet365 Broadcast Command Center in Pagoda Plaza. Thank you for joining us. Move closer and closer Top of the hour, we're going to go to the network, and of course, part of the storyline today, Elio Castroneves, four-time winner, in the middle of row number 7. He has a minor stake in ownership with his team, Meyershank Racing, and we had a conversation last week about what it means to him and about approaching a possibility at number 5. We're going with guys where you got to been there and done that with Elio, obviously, 4 times, and then Ed has always been good, seemingly, but never captured the prize. We are going off the proverbial board, Tony, just a little bit here.
That's who we are.
That's what
JMV.
we do. Exactly.
Always a pleasure doing this coverage
Thank
with
you very much.
You are a gent.
You are awesome.
And a scholar and a good man. Be sure to follow him on X, JMV 1070. Follow me at Tony Katz, TonyKatz. A pleasure. Get ready for Mark Jaynes. Get ready for the 108th running of the Indianapolis 500. Matt Bear, get people to the track.
All right, Tony, JMV, looking at what's left of the ramp delays there. We still have a few, like northbound 465 to West 10th Street. That is going to be a slow ramp as you make your way into Speedway, then continuing eastbound 10th to Lyndhurst Drive. Yeah, that's going to be jammed up. Plenty of company there. Things have improved. 74 Crawfordsville Road 465. If you're coming southbound 465, your slowdown actually begins on the exit ramp to Crawfordsville Road. Again, huge improvement than what it was about an hour ago. Looking at westbound 16th Street as you make your way to the world's greatest race course here, we do see a delay beginning Kessler Boulevard North, and that drags through to Polk Street and westbound 10th Street as well, as you can expect a slowdown starting about Tibbs Avenue. Now, northbound Holt Road pushed at Michigan Street. You are being diverted to westbound Michigan Street. You can make it up to 10th Street without too much trouble. Again, there's going to be an Indianapolis 500 delay as you make your way to the race course. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden, just in time for Memorial Day. Sullivan Hardware and Garden. See their great selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon grills, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
God, Matt Bear is good. He's so good.
He is so good. Yeah.
Just ridiculously, ridiculously good.
You can't spell traffic without Matt. Well, yeah, I guess you can.
You really can.
He's really good, though, still. Yes.
From JMV, I am Tony Katz. The 108th running of the Indianapolis 500 is just around the corner. Do not tune away from your radios. We will have everything for you, including those weather updates for JMV, Tony Katz. 103.5, 97, wait. Did I say 107.5, 93.5 The Fan? I waited to the end to screw it all up. And 93 WIBC. Have a good race, everybody.
It's race day. WIBC, WIBC HD1, HD2, HD3, Indianapolis.
6, 5, 4.
Each year, over 300,000 rabid faithful converge upon 16th at Georgetown in Speedway, Indiana. They do so for various reasons. For some, it is a family tradition and began generations ago. Others are here to cheer on their favorite driver. Some see it as a time and place to gather with friends and family, while newcomers simply want to experience what the world talks about. They are joined by millions more from across this great state, our nation, and around the world, courtesy of this network. Over the next few hours, we'll hope to enhance the experience of those who are here, regardless of the reason, and make those who aren't with us feel as though they are. The storylines are plenty. A drive for 5 by Elio Castroneves, Takuma Sato's quest for a third Indy 500 win. A number of drivers could join the two-time winners club. And, of course, there's always the excitement that comes from a first-time winner, like Joseph Newgarden 1 year ago. And the first ever appearance by a generational talent, Kyle Larson, who will attempt to tackle 1,100 miles today. This is Mark Jaynes, proud to serve as the voice of the 500 for the 9th time. We have assembled a talented group of passionate professionals and vow to do our best to bring you the color, pageantry, the sights, sounds, the tradition, and history-making moments. So with that, we say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, no matter where in the world you may be. We are at the crossroads of America, at the world's greatest race course. This is the 108th running of the Indianapolis 500-mile race on the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Radio Network.
The 500, the greatest race in the world. From the opening ball till the race is done, it's thrill after thrill after thrill.
108th running of the Indianapolis 500, presented by Gamebridge, is brought to you by Firestone, the official tire of the NTT IndyCar Series, for redefining the limits. Advance Auto Parts, official checkered flag of the NTT IndyCar Series. Pennzoil, official motor oil of the NTT IndyCar Series. Progressive Insurance, save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. Visit Progressive.com. American Medical Response, official partner of the NTT IndyCar Series and the AMR IndyCar Safety Team. Miller Lite. Miller Lite is proud to be the official beer partner of the Indy 500. Tastes like Miller time. Borg Warner, official turbochargers of the NTT IndyCar Series. Hinchman Racing Uniforms. Nothing fits like a Hinchman. The Indy Racing Experience, the fastest seat in sports. Safety Clean, official environmental service partner of the NTT IndyCar Series. The American Dairy Association. Winners drink milk. Racing Optics, the official aero screen and helmet tear-off of the NTT IndyCar Series. General Motors, official car of the Indianapolis 500-mile race. Evolve Transporters, official transporter of the NTT IndyCar Series. Shell, official fuel of the NTT IndyCar Series. By Gamebridge, the official annuity and life insurance of the Indianapolis 500. And by NTT, official technology and title partner of the NTT IndyCar Series.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan and 93 WIBC.
Back at the world's greatest race course, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Mark Jaynes, Davey Hamilton, and Davey, it looks like that for now, Mother Nature will be making headlines here at 16th at Georgetown.
Yeah, it sure does. Obviously, we've been saying our prayers and keeping our fingers crossed, trying to keep the rains away, Mark, but it's inevitable. It's coming. Just what time is it going to be here? It looks like it could come and go fairly rapidly to where hopefully we can get this track prepared and ready and still have a green flag to
Hope to be able to visit soon with Indianapolis Motor Speedway President Doug Bowles to get the specifics, but what we do know is that it looks like the order is going to be given to evacuate around 11:15 Eastern, which is about 9 minutes from now, and they hope to have that done relatively quickly, and then they anticipate sometime around 12:15 to 12:30 Eastern is when things could get interesting.
Yeah, it's going to get interesting. Let's say, obviously, if you look at the weather pattern, and no matter which weather app you may look at, Mark, it's pretty much the same thing. It's a big one coming. It's going to be a torrential downpour, obviously, and then after that, we'll just have to see. Hopefully the sun pops out. We can drive this track as quick as an hour and a half, but it could take as long as 3 hours too, Mark, that we've seen. Just depends on. They're very well prepared for it. I think Doug's doing the right thing there's so many people here, just sad. I mean, as you said, Mark, first thing is, you said you hate it for the fans, and that's we all do, right? I mean, so many people came here together, the greatest day of the year, and unfortunately, a little rain. It's been a long time,
right,
since we've had rain, and sometimes you just can't avoid it.
Well, the biggest issue more than anything else is it's not just the rain, but heavy rain, but most importantly, lightning.
Lightning, right? Yeah. So I noticed you told all of our pit reporters to get out of the grandstand except for Mike Young to grab an umbrella. But other than that, hopefully everybody gets out safely.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to err on the side of caution as well. And again, Indianapolis Motor Speedway President Doug Bowles, very busy man, but I got to commend him and the entire IMS staff, and also all the safety and security and the folks handling the weather for the proactive approach that they've taken in this. As a matter of fact, happy to have with us now the president of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Good morning, Doug.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
Well, we're not as busy as you, I'm sure, but we kind of gave folks the news that we have so far, but we're going to give you the chance to kind of reiterate what we expect to happen around 11:15 in terms of announcements, and then moving forward from there.
Yeah, we've been obviously watching this storm opportunity or option or possibilities for the last 72 hours, and in particular the last 24, and one of those nights where you don't sleep, and it's not because you were out hanging out with the fans in the Coke lot. We didn't sleep last night because we were worried about this weather. So we've been continuing to watch it. It's not really the rain that's a challenge for us. It's the lightning that's coming in on the front of the storm. And we have so many people in the venue that I think we're going to end up in the next 10 minutes or so asking them to come out of the grandstands just to make sure that they're safe. The good news is I think that this storm will get through relatively quickly. Some folks are saying maybe even as early as 2:30, which will give us some time to get the track dried and hopefully get the 108th running of the Indianapolis 500 presented by Gamebridge underway. But I'm as emotional, I think, as I have been, other than every year when the Back Home Again in Indiana kicks off. I mean, it's Christmas Day for us.
Right.
And it's like having a blizzard on Christmas Day and not being able to go to Grandma's house. And we're all here ready to celebrate this moment that we love more than anything on earth. And unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to ask fans to leave the grandstands for a little bit, but the most important thing is to keep them safe.
And again, we shouldn't make notice. You have this many people in one place; they have to go somewhere. So you've kind of relaxed the rules on leaving the facility and coming back in.
For sure. If people, so really, because we don't know where everybody parks or where they are, and some people are going to want to go to their cars. Some people might want to stay under the grandstands. We need people to be able to get out of the grandstands and think about where they want to go. We think the Lightning is about an hour out. But with over 125,000 people, maybe closer to 150,000 people in the venue right now, in order to get everybody out of the grandstands, I think we just need to give them some time and get it going so nobody's rushing. This is not a stampede to get out. This is all about taking your time, thinking about where you want to go. And if you want to go back to your car, or if you stayed at a neighbor's here in the town of Speedway, you want to go over there and have a Diet Pepsi or Miller Lite while this storm comes through, we're just encouraging people to do their own thing, so we will allow